Hi guys, welcome back to TR's Tarot Talk 1111. It has been a hot minute since I've uploaded. I could give you a whole lot of excuses and reasons why, but the list is so endless at the moment. My dad's been sick. I had just gotten over being sick. I'm taking certification classes. It's the end of the summer. I've been working on the band. There's just a lot of stuff that has kind of prevented me from being here on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoy these uploads when I can get time to do them. And I'm hoping when Jesse gets out of school here in the next week, maybe to get back to a normal schedule and start doing consistent uploads again. And I want to thank you all of you so very much for sticking by me. And I hope that this is a reading you enjoy. I didn't know what to read about. I kind of been out of the loop. I haven't been doing a whole heck of a lot of readings except for the occasional psychic fair. Anyhow, so I thought, why not let Spirit choose? Instead of imposing my intention or will upon it, let's just call it a mystery. Pick a pile reading. What does Spirit want you to know right now? I mean, it's a mystery reading. We'll see what the topic's about, and I'll kind of channel around it. Okay? So pile number 1 is an amethyst point. Nice long one. Pile number 2 is Super 7 point. And pile number 3 is a blue kyanite point. So take a moment, sit with your energy, sit with your guides, sit with your intention, and choose your pile, and I will see you at it. All right, pile number 1. If you picked this beautiful amethyst point crystal, let's see, and I'm going to pull out your cards first. We have the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, and manipulation. Number 16 breaks down to a 7, coming out in the challenging position. We have space. We have crown. Honor and respect will come to you. We have torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. We have ritual, invocation. Interesting. We have helpless and hopeless. Number 8. 8 of Swords to be exact. We have the 7 of Cups. Make a choice. Stop procrastinating or overanalyzing. Get clarity on what you desire and move forward. Too many options or addictions. I'm hearing confusion. Okay, and we have, ooh, the Lovers. Okay, now I'm beginning to get your message. And last but not least, we have action leads to success. Okay. So my pile number 1's, your mystery message is, by the way, we have 1, we have 8, we have 7, and we have 6. We have 7 twice. So if any of those numbers resonate with you, number 7s for me are in the tarot, the need to reassess a situation and determine your next action. So 7 of Cups is trying to make a decision, trying to gain clarity is what this is all about. Because we've got the crown, which is also crown chakra for me. We've got spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. And we have invocation and ritual. Now I'm going to read out of the book, The Shadow Queen, which is another number 7, in the challenging position, to see what the book says. I pretty much already have your message, but I want to reaffirm it, and this might help you as well. So in the challenger position, by the way, this is the Colette Baron Reid Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. It says, the Shadow Queen gently asks you to address your innermost character flaws with compassion. For now it's time to bring your wounded self and hidden agendas into the light, again with the torch. You're seeing the tangible results of those aspects of your nature that have evolved in response to the difficulties in your life. They've been a means to help you survive. Perhaps you're falling prey to insecurity masked as elitism. Ooh, crown, elitism, honor and respect. And arrogance, believing that you know best, to comparing yourself with others, or to being fearful and self-sabotaging. You may have been taught that manipulating others rather than being direct is the way to get your needs met. The Shadow Queen reminds you that manipulation in any form isn't the best method of getting what you want. Another meaning that can also apply is the possibility that you're being affected by someone else's wounded self. Perhaps you are the one being manipulated. Whichever the case, it's time to take a fearless personal inventory and observe what part you play in the dramas and potential disasters in your life. When you come to the place of humility, forgiveness, and grace, then you may proceed again and walk into the light. Again with the torch. I'm telling you guys, there is great value and strength in facing your own shadow in the realm of the Shadow Queen. Okay, now I'm seeing here a relationship, possibly a romantic one. Doesn't have to be. I'm going to read it both ways just in case I'm wrong, because I'm not right about everything, but I'm pretty damn right most of the time. For most of you, there has been trauma in your past experiences. And because of this trauma, I believe that your triggers or are being triggered by another person's actions. I think that you have more options than you realize. I believe you need to take space and time. I think you might be manifesting this. I think maybe even you created this somehow, maybe perhaps through a ritual, invocation, or just, we're powerful creators. We create with our thoughts, our words, our actions. And I think that you are in a relationship, regardless of what kind it is, where there is deep love. But there may not be clear communication. there's a whole lot coming up for you that I believe triggers you into a past experience. And your ego, yes, we all have one, and they're actually pretty good for us when they are healthy. But I think your ego has become defensive. And everybody, when they're triggered and becomes defensive, has different ways of expressing that. Some people get loud and proud and pushy. Others get real quiet and reflective. And then there's, runners, chasers. There's a lot of different ways that our shadow can trigger us in a situation where honor and respect, whether it's true or not, is perceived as being missing. I think there's somebody that you care deeply about that triggers you into old wounds where you become confused. You don't know if you should stay or you should go. At any given moment, you're on the fence. You don't know what action to take, because this action leads to success is kind of what you're confused about. I think it's the only thing that's holding you back, making you feel helpless and hopeless and confused. There's a decision that you've been wanting to make, but you're not sure if you're self-sabotaging or if your perception is clear and the other person might be torching, gaslighting. And so you're confused. And to be honest, only you will really know. I think you already know. No, I think you, so see how confusing I am? I think you know. No, you don't know. Yes, you do. I'm feeling it too here. The Lovers is a choice. And this card says make a choice. Stop procrastinating or overanalyzing. Get clarity, the torch, on what you desire to move forward. Taking action. Too many options or addictions. And one of the addictions is feeling constantly like you don't know which direction is the right one to go. And I think you've been on a spiritual healing or a spiritual journey where you are learning to honor and love yourself, stand in your power, but also you're not sure. You're just not sure, because I'm telling you I'm not sure, and I'm tapping into your energy, and it just feels like you kind of don't know what the hell to do. It's like, you're looking for spiritual guidance. You're trying to manifest something, and I think you've partially manifested it, but I think it's shown up a little bit differently than you were hoping. And I think that you are asking yourself and Spirit, did I finally get what I want? Or am I repeating an old pattern? And I think the old pattern for you might have been not loving yourself. And I think that maybe Either you use emotional manipulation and gaslighting techniques to get your needs met, and that's your shadow, that's, what you've done in relationships in the past. But if that's the truth, then I think that you've recognized that on this spiritual development, and I think you know when you're doing that. And I think you want to stop. But when we manifest what the strongest energy within us. And so sometimes these kind of relationships are karmic in nature. They're here to teach us to recognize our patterns so that we can see it in others. And so I think this is a relationship, and it doesn't have to be romantic, but I think it's a relationship where there is a lot of gaslighting and emotional manipulation. And it's a bit toxic, it's a bit of an addiction, and I don't know who's doing it, maybe both of you. But I think because of the spiritual awakening you've had and are currently on, you're trying to balance out your energy and make appropriate decisions moving forward so that you're breaking those patterns. And I think you're dealing with somebody who challenges you in that. Because I think that you really love them. I think that they show up for you in ways that nobody else maybe has. But they also don't show up for you in ways that you kind of need them to. And that has put you between paths here. You don't know whether you should go left or right. You don't know if it's the right person, the right time, the right situation. I think that maybe this person makes you feel, okay, I'm not going to say that they don't honor and respect you, because they might. Because somebody here is self-sabotaging, and I don't know if it's you or them. But either you're right, and this person really does walk all over your boundaries and doesn't appreciate or honor or respect you. Maybe they emotionally manipulate you through their own insecurities. But in all karmic relationships, there's a lesson for both people. So it could be you. It could be you that's doing the gaslighting and the emotional manipulation through your insecurity. And maybe you have more knowledge spiritually about yourself now, and you're asking the same question. You're like, okay, is it in my head? Is it me? It's like, really, is this me? Am I creating this chaos? Am I creating this insecurity, this feeling of hopelessness and helplessness? Am I the one who's trying to be dominating and manipulative? Or is it them? And I think that's what this mystery message is all about, is that you need to take space and time to kind of remove yourself, is what I'm hearing. As if you were watching certain scenarios play out as an observer, as if you are not in it, as if it's not happening to you, or as if it's not you doing it. And really listen to everything, the tones in each other's voices, the look on each other's faces, the What is trying to be decided? What is trying? It's going to be a long reading is what it feels like, because I'm channeling. I just think you're confused and don't know what to do. And I think Spirit's saying you really have more options. It doesn't have to be either or. You know, if it's a relationship and you're like, well, I don't want to lose this relationship. There's a lot going on here that I actually like. And I think I might have asked for this. And now I've got it, and I'm not sure if I'm having a hard time being open to receiving it with gratitude, or if I'm sabotaging it by being picky or manipulative. And I really don't think that Spirit's giving you the answer. I think the biggest answer is, what are you wanting to create? What are you wanting to experience? You need to look at pros and cons. You need to be, maybe even imagine yourself walking away or taking a break with space. Just taking a break to see, how much do you miss them? How much was really awful versus what you experienced as awful? Because I've done this in relationships where I think somebody is trying to manipulate me emotionally and not honoring and respecting me. And I want to get angry and tell them to go F off and just end it. And then the next day, everything's great and I'm happy and I'm fulfilled and I think it's the best relationship I've ever had. And I'm back here again, feeling helpless and hopeless because now I'm confused. And I think maybe your person might be confused too. In this picture, this masculine looks pretty assured. And it almost looks like he's pulling the feminine's hands toward him. And she has this look on her face like, I'm uncertain. I'm going to get you some cards because I don't know if Spirit wants you to really know the answer. I think this is a karmic lesson for you. I think this is about your spiritual development. It's about becoming enlightened and aware of who you are and what you really truly want versus what you'll settle for. Look at your patterns of settling in the past. And ask yourself, is this relationship really what I want? So let's just find out. Spirit, what is your advice in this situation? What is your advice? We've got Six of Cups. What is your advice, Spirit, for pile number 1? What is your advice? Ooh, and we've got the Fool in reverse. What is your advice, Spirit? What is your advice? Ooh, hold on. Too many. All right. Spirit said no. I tried to put them back. And it's not too many. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Magician, along with Ritual. and invocation. And we have the Page of Wands. Ooh, ooh, ooh. With the Devil and the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is definitely a soulmate. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's definitely somebody probably from your childhood, somebody you've dated before, or somebody that you maybe even had a past life with. And under the deck, we've got a divine couple here. We've got the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Devil. This is not something that you're going to be able to get out of easily. We got the Devil here, and you're a bit chained to this person, but it is karmic, and they are a soulmate. And your advice is that before you decide to walk away, to try something new, to choose someone new, or to do something foolish, I'm getting a lot of immature energy with the Six of Cups, the Fool, and the Page of Wands. But under the deck, I've got a King and a Queen. And I think that you met each other to help each other become this King and Queen. And I believe that the karmic lesson here is to speak your truth and to really kind of not people please, but to actually be honest about your fears, be honest about your doubts, be honest about your needs. Because we have another choice card here, and we have the Magician. And it's a reminder from your spirit team that there's something out of balance here. And there is a very clear choice that needs to be made. And with this Magician energy, with the invocation and ritual and the Magician, you can really kind of create whatever you want. With the Page of Wands, what's really sticking out to me is how he's looking at this new growth at the top of this wand. I think Spirit's saying your advice is that communication and honesty needs to be really clear. The King and Queen of Swords, really clear. Like, communication needs to be really clear. When you do this, it makes me feel like that. What did you mean by that? Can you tell me why you acted like that, or why you said that, or whatever it is? Because there's triggers here. I feel them. I'm triggered, and I don't even know what the hell they are. But you're not going to be able to get out of this having learned the lesson, at least. I mean, of course, you can walk away at any point, but you'll just attract the same lesson with a different person in a different face. So to really, 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 really get in the kind of relationship that the Lovers is all about instead of the Devil, because the Lovers and the Devil is the same energy, only not. One is toxic, or at least karmically tied. It comes at a cost. And I think for you, what you think the cost is your respect. But theirs might be too. So to really integrate this lesson, you're going to have to go within. You're going to have to create space, sacred space, with invocation, prayer, meditation, journaling. And for some of you, it could just simply mean we need to get away together. Because everybody's problems aren't always solved the same way. So, I mean, you guys would know what feels right for you. Do you feel like you need to have some time alone with this person to kind of rekindle things or balance things out or get them back to where they need to be? Or do you think that you need time away from this person to gain some clarity, to do some prayer, meditation, ritual, soul seeking? Because the lesson here is for you, is what I feel. Your lesson is to love yourself and honor yourself without becoming emotionally manipulative to do it. And I think sometimes we project in our shadow and in our fears and insecurities, we project that onto other people. And so we're constantly looking for and picking apart everything they say, trying to find fault so that we can feel triggered and sabotage the relationship. And I think it's a pattern for you, because underneath all of this is the world. And the world is about a karmic lesson. It's about a pattern that goes round and round and round and round until you break free of it. I think you're waiting to see if there's going to be growth or not, but I'm asking you a question. Who is it that needs to grow? Is it you or is it them? Is the relationship out of balance? Does one person give more and the other one take more? Or do you just think they do? Because I see your confusion. You really don't know. You're wondering. You don't want to wreck a good thing. But right now it's not feeling like a good thing. It's kind of feeling like the devil. You're feeling stuck, helpless and hopeless and confused and out of balance. Maybe even a little foolish. But there is advice here from Spirit not to do anything yet. We got the Fool in reverse. Don't do anything yet. Your advice is, to kind of talk about the devil. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And look at this. We can end a cycle. We can end a cycle between you and me through communicating about the devil. And I think your advice is to have these difficult conversations, because I think in the past you weren't brave enough to have them. And that was your cycle. You got in these relationships with people and you let them manipulate you, and you allowed them to disrespect you, because there's probably an abandonment or fear here. And so you kind of would get in these relationships that came at a cost. And I think you've been learning on your journey that this cost needs to be fair. Both people need to be somehow working as a partnership with equal give and take, equal sacrifice, sacrificing time, energy, love, advice, favors. Kind of like a real partnership requires, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. I show up for you, you show up for me. I give, you give. I take what you give and you take what I give. But I don't think this relationship has been balanced or equal. And I think you totally manifested it in a cyclical way. Oh my God, I'm 36 minutes into this. Your advice is don't do anything stupid. Take time to communicate clearly. And yes, to explain yourself. And to kind of if you feel like you're sabotaging, stop it. Clear your mind, try to see things through their point of view. But if you find that you're really good at that on this spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding journey that you've been on, you've really gotten good at communicating, you've gotten good at asking for your needs to be met, and you've gotten good at not being reactive and being wise enough to show up differently, and you find that the other person just can't, then I think you already know your answer. And I think that, Spirit's not telling you what to do here. They're saying you're the magician of your own experience. Speak your truth with this person and see if there's any growth. See if there's any actions being taken. Or is there a whole lot of gaslighting and promises that never get kept? Does your person keep you in confusion and try to make you feel like it's your fault? And maybe that's a pattern that you learned as a child, and maybe that's been your devil for a long time. But nobody will ever truly know the answer to that but you. And when you get that answer, when you make that decision, that's when things are going to start moving. That's when you're going to be successful. And for some of you, it's just as simple as clear communication, because maybe your person doesn't understand your trauma. Maybe you don't respond to the things they say and do the way that I'm hearing normal, but nobody's normal. But I mean the way other people would respond to their behavior. Maybe you've been enlightened and you understand their behavior better than they do. I don't know. But your advice is to communicate. I mean, you can't get any clearer than that. Ace of Swords, King, Queen of Swords in the world. And then it's all about the devil. So your advice is, you need to kind of communicate. Think clearly. It's not just communication. Swords is about thinking, your thoughts. What are you creating? Is it true? Do your journaling. Do your pros and cons. Ask yourself, did he or she really mean it that way, or is that just the way I took it through my trauma? Does this person show up for me in ways that I'm not appreciative of? Or am I the only glue holding this relationship in balance? And if it is, then you're getting tired. And no wonder you're confused and want to make a decision. So Clarity is what you're seeking. You can get that through journaling. You can get that through asking questions, seeking answers. You can do that through talking, communicating, sitting across from somebody and having the harder conversations and watching their behavior and watching your own. Are you self-aware? Are you self-aware? Because if you're not self-aware and enlightened, then you could be acting out your own shadow. You could be the shadow queen. You could be sabotaging a beautiful relationship because you think that they are meaning things that other thing, that you think they might be repeating a cycle with you. And this is about knowing yourself. Self-realization. And then you'll be able to take action. Your actions will lead to success. With the one, we got zeros, we got ones, we got a lot of defensiveness here. I'm going to read this and then I got to move on, man. I'm channeling way too deep for these. I don't even know if I got enough memory on my phone to do 3 like this. So we have number 1, action leads to success. 6 dragons. The 6 dragons reference the I Ching's first hexagram, the creative. Yeah. The magician and the ritual invocation. In Chinese tradition, dragon creates great fortune for those who encounter him. Dragon is of service to those in need. His acts are benevolent and not self-serving. I think somebody is self-serving here, or you're just triggered in thinking they are, and you're trying to figure it out. Dragon assists humans on their journey toward ascension. The presence of 6 dragons, one of the most promising cards in the deck, foretells a successful outcome if you take the inspiration running through you and turn it into action. The collective power of the 6 dragons holds the medicine of the first 6 cards in the deck. Meditate upon these cards as they are a roadmap for the journey towards success. All humans hold dragon power. It is the energy within that we direct outwardly. Exactly. Some of this is projection. I'm telling you, I got two different people I'm talking to, 2 different camps of people in this collective reading. There are those of you that are triggered and you are projecting your fears and making them real. You're creating it through your reactive trauma. Others of you have healed a lot and you're recognizing a pattern that you thought you had healed. And you're in a relationship, romantic or otherwise, where the other person is challenging you to show up different. And sometimes that different way we show up is by saying no thank you to the experience, because we recognize that we're being manipulated or disrespected. Others of you will recognize it's you who is creating the drama. All right, anyhow. Know, however, that self-centered desires will have limited success. So if you're being selfish because you're insecure, it won't work out for you. Work diligently and not expect an immediate reward. Yeah, you're being asked to see if there's any growth with this. This isn't something that you have to decide today. Dragon does not focus on fantasies, 7 of Cups, or future possibilities, but actually acts in the now. So if you're saying, I'm hoping this is going to change, I'm hoping the future is going to look like this, if you're fantasizing a perfect relationship, but your spider senses tell you it's not even close to that, that it's all in your head, and the other person really is toxic, I'm telling you, I got two camps here. Disciplined persistence is required. Do the work, but do not focus on how the outcome will manifest. Do the work and let life guide you. 6 Dragons Medicine shares that what your heart deeply desires, you can manifest or achieve. But you've You're advised to be wise in your creation, right? Queen and King of Swords. Any man can create heaven or hell on this earth. It is your choice as to which. The 6 dragons ask you to make sure your wishes are in alignment for what is best for you and for all the creatures of the earth or involved. If you truly come from your heart and take dedicated action towards your goal, the 6 dragons will assist you and lead you to supreme success. Their medicine calls for you to come from your heart and take action now. Abundance and prosperity follow. So when they say take action now, I believe the action is in the now moment. Don't keep projecting your consciousness out into the future saying, well, someday I'm going to know, someday I'm going to choose, someday he's going to change, or she's going to change, or it's going to be different. Someday this person's going to listen and love me enough to change. Some of you have already seen growth. Others of you have seen no growth, and it's what you're waiting for. But ultimately, your advice is to do the shadow work and to kind of, this is a spiritual dilemma. And it's a spiritual lesson. And if you learn the lesson and integrate the lesson, you are guaranteed success. If you don't learn the lesson, you're guaranteed to repeat it. And it's okay. Be gentle with yourself. You can repeat a cycle as many times as you need to, or as many relationships as you need to, or as many lifetimes as you need to. Because we're infinite beings and there is no beginning, middle, or end. It's just now. And so create for yourself in the now moment what you want moving forward. And then you have to make that decision. Is this what I want? Or am I stuck, helpless and hopeless? And if I am, why? Is it me or is it them? That's your dilemma. But I don't think anybody, including Spirit, is going to give you that answer, because if they did, it'd be like cheating on a test. This is a test, pile number 1. What do you want? Have you manifested it? Is it the way you want it? Are you being fair? Are they being fair? Do you love yourself enough to walk away if you have to? Or do you people please? Have you become a bitch with the Queen of Swords and create drama and chaos through your triggers and your shadow? Maybe it's time for you to really kind of figure out who really is the devil here. And for some of you, it could be both of you. And if it is, then your best decision would be to move beyond it. Because you can't fix others, honey. All you can fix is you. And so if you think that staying in a relationship that's out of balance is going to change because you can fix them, or you can enlighten them, or you can awaken them, that doesn't happen ever. You may be their catalyst for awakening, but not because you deem it so, but because the universe does. And so I'm going to leave this with you the way it is. I think that you are the one that needs to figure this out. And I think everyone watching is going to resonate differently. Some of you, you're great. You've done the work. You've done the healing. You're moving beyond your shadow, and you're just trying to manifest a partnership that matches that energy. And here you are being tested by the universe on, is it really what you want? Others of you, this is you totally projecting your fears and insecurities onto a person that possibly might really not be the one at fault. So, figure it out. And I'm sorry I didn't give you the answer. But I'm going to move on now to pile number 2. And hopefully it won't be nearly as long as pile number 1. Let's see, we are at 50-40. Because these are channelings, I'm just channeling. Whatever comes out, comes out. And if it takes an hour each, let's just hope we don't run out of space. And if we do, I'll upload twice. All right, so we're at 51 minutes now. I'm going to put 51 for pile number 2. Welcome, pile number 2. I'm going to tell you the same thing I just told pile number 1. These are channeled messages. Some of them might be so clear that it's a 5-minute reading. Others may be an hour, because number 1 was really, really long. Number 2 might be a little more clear. Number 3 might be so freaking clear that I get the message out quickly. But I'm going to be here as long as I need to be here to get you your message. All right. The Word Lord. Communication, praise, and dishonesty. Ooh. 43, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 7. Wow. We have protection. We have February. We have staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. Boy, you're very protected. Pile number 2. Extremely protected, guided, and possibly even with a real big spiritual team. Or friends, you know, it's staff. All right, and we have Athame, boundaries, yeah. With 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. Ace of Cups, a beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual insights, a love letter, a new home. Ooh, and we have the Death card. And we have Keep Trying. Oh. The winds of change will happen for you. Possibly in February. I mean, Spirit's pretty precise with that. Or this could be a birthday. You know, you might know somebody who is born in February. They could be a Pisces or Aries. Had to think about that. If you came here from pile number 1, because maybe it triggered you and you thought, well, I'm going to see, or maybe you just miss me. I do that sometimes. My favorite reader will put up a video and I'll watch all 3 piles just because they're my favorite reader and I love to hear the way they channel. And I love the way they communicate with Spirit. So just if you came from 1, please don't go watch 1 unless you really think you really were nudged that way. But I do believe that at least one of you came from pile number 1, and I think that Spirit's saying, keep trying, don't give up. There's that communication, and I think you're the Phoenix rising with that Death card. I think you've been going through a transformation. And I think you're very divinely guided and protected. I don't think you can get it wrong. But if you came from pile number 1, we're back to the conundrum of choice. Because for some of you, you'll end that situation and Spirit will say, don't give up. Something better is coming for you. You're very divinely protected, and you've got a new ace here. And the Six of Pentacles is an equal, balanced relationship. It's balanced. 4s are solid. This is somebody in alignment. So just for those of you that watched 1, I think that when you make your decision, no, I think what Spirit's trying to say is that you are very divinely protected and guided. And you will know what to do moving forward. And either way, you're either going to balance out the current relationship you're in and have a new beginning with this person because you've put up boundaries and this person is communicating and trying. And then there's the others of you that will choose to end it with the Death card because it wasn't equal reciprocity and the communication was lacking. And if you do that, you might actually feel briefly like giving up. And if you do, Spirit's saying don't give up. The winds of change are coming and something new is coming in that's more balanced. And don't give up. Hold that boundary. All right, now moving on to those of you that didn't watch pile number 1. I want to read, like I did for pile number 1, I want to read the word Lord, page, or number 43. And it is in the upright, which is nice. Wow, it is literally the second to the last card in the deck. All right, in the ally position, which is the upright position, it reads, the word Lord rules communication of all kinds and lets you know that positive interactions can be expected when he arrives as your ally. He only speaks with positive words and praises all he sees. He reminds you of the laws of abundance and praise. When you bless the world, it blesses you back. When you say affirming, supportive words, they carry an energy that returns to you in physical form. Remember that each one of you has power and will resonate into the universe, seeking its reflection in manifest form. Again, the magician. Your body responds to praise, as does everything in the world around you. Praise it for its inherent health and beauty. Applaud yourself for everything you do, as even the tiniest accomplishments are important. Praise your bills. Give thanks for the services you enjoy. And watch the ability to pay them increase as you align with Spirit's increasing power. This is also a time to remember the powerful practice of affirmations. Write them down and speak them aloud as a spiritual exercise. Say it is so, and it will be. It's a very auspicious sign when the word Lord chooses to be your ally. Again, there's a message here about, what are you creating? If you're in a negative situation, are your words and your actions creating negativity? Are you griping? Are you complaining? Are you criticizing? Are you criticizing someone else? Are you criticizing yourself? Is it an old pattern? Is it something you've always done? Is it something that others have always done to you? I think there's pure potential here for, and it feels romantic. It doesn't have to be, but I'm seeing with the death card, there's these two people again. I think there's potential to manifest your perfect partner, or your perfect job, or your perfect relationship. I want to read this Keep Trying. The Starfish. The medicine of this card speaks of wishes being granted, but also the understanding that you will have to try again and again to receive what you desire. The process of trial and error will lead you to fulfillment. There is a story of a young maiden who prayed and prayed to the stars to heal her so she could fully serve her purpose. She tried everything, but failed to ever feel whole. One day, the young maiden received a starfish from the stars. She thought to herself, "This must be what will heal me." The young maiden inspected the starfish, sang to the starfish, and danced with the starfish in hopes that it would heal her, but nothing happened. As a last resort, she took a small bite of the starfish's arm. Still nothing happened. The young maiden cried out to the stars and cursed them for her inability to be healed. She fell to her knees and begrudgingly threw the starfish into the pond before her. As she wept in despair, her gaze fell upon the starfish subtly moving in the waters. As she watched it regrow the arm she had taken a bite of, the medicine of the starfish was revealed to her. It was at this very moment she had a deep expansion of consciousness. By witnessing the starfish regenerate, she understood the message from the stars. She could heal herself. The ability to do this was not outside of her. It was always within. This was when the young maiden began to heal. Whether you are healing, manifesting, or creating a meaningful relationship, starfish's medicine is to keep trying. Understand that all you deem to be failures lead you closer to success. If the young maiden didn't take multiple approaches, she would have never been led to the answers that lied within. So again, your mystery message. I really do think that you might have followed me here from a lot of you. Your mystery message is, if first you don't succeed, try again. There's an infinite amount of new beginnings. With the death card, anything and everything can rise from the ashes and renew itself. The end of a cycle or a relationship or a way of being just creates a new opportunity. And if you're in a situation currently that just doesn't really fit you, or isn't balanced, or doesn't feel divinely protected and guided, then it's okay to release it and try again. Because I think you're evolving and going through a transformation, and I think that some of it is really about practice. And maybe you've manifested a few flops. Maybe you're currently manifested something that you don't know if it's a flop or if it's the real deal. But again, it comes back to, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling others? What are you creating as the magician? Are you grateful for what you have, or are you constantly finding flaws in it? And is it the other person, or is it you? Is it a habit you have of thinking you're not good enough, or you're broken, or you're It's your fault. I think you already know the answer. I think you already know the answer. I think that in a healthy relationship that's healthy and reciprocal, you should be able to have healthy boundaries, and the other person should honor that because they're mature enough to do so. And if they're not, you'll know. Because for some of you, I think it's you. I think it's you that you're scared. Your heart is tender. You've been hurt. You're trying to heal your soul. And you're wanting to create balance and love and happiness and stability. Fours, stability. Aces, new beginnings. Water, emotional new beginnings. Six of Pentacles, generosity of spirit. Don't just be the giver. Make sure you're receiving too. Make sure you praise the other person when they do good things, and don't just criticize them when they do wrong. And if you're showing up in that balance, if you really are good at being grateful and good at seeing the other person's journey and understanding them as well as you understand yourself, I think that this situation can really balance itself out. The winds of change, it's very divinely protected. But really only you's going to know. Only you will know. So I'm going to use another tarot deck and see if I can get some answers for you. And then I'm going to move on to pile number 3, because the mystery is that Spirit is being mysterious. They want you to know thyself, to kind of stop relying on readings and external influences to give you your healing, and to start really healing yourself by going within and creating the environment by what you say and how you feel and what actions you take. Are you in alignment with what you're trying to create, or are you out of balance? All right. Let's just do it then. Spirit, what is your advice for pile number 2? What is your advice? What is your advice for pile number 2? Wow. Okay. So we have the 4 of Wands. We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Death card. There's the whole story. There's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You are worthy. You can do this with, without, or in spite of anyone else. Leave the past in the past. This is thinking. The 10 of Swords can be where somebody hurts you with their words, but I feel like it's you hurting you with your words. I think you overthink, over-criticize, or maybe if you are in a relationship where somebody else does that, or a marriage where they do that, then, you know, with the Death card twice, it might be time to end it. But you've got the winds of change and the Wheel of Fortune. This is going to shift. It's going to change. And someone is coming in hot. With this Ace of Cups, you've got it twice. And an Ace of Pentacles. You know, and that reminds me of the starfish over here. You've got a decision to make that will create. There's that healthy boundary. Doing your shadow work. The whole story's here. This is about you. Let's clarify the 4 of Wands. I mean, I know the answer. I just don't know how to tell you the answer. Come on, Spirit. I'm just going to take it in reverse. It's the way it came out. Tell me about the Six of Cups. Ooh, the Emperor. Hot diggity. And the Death. There's that boundary. One more on Death, please. Four of Cups. Yep. All right. Magician. It's exactly what I said. You know your value. You know your worth. You know what a healthy relationship looks like now. And some of you are my twins, and I know that because that's how you found me. And the Emperor with the Six of Cups, there's somebody who's going to show up. They're going to show up right. Slow and steady. What needs to transform, I think, for my viewer, is your ability to communicate fairly and honestly and to put up healthy boundaries, not walls. And I think that if you can do that, if you can create that transformation within yourself, then that Ace of Cups is coming. Slowly, it's coming. Don't give up. Keep trying. Some of you are going to end a toxic relationship and manifest your Emperor. And when you do, you're going to have to, because that's the secret. The secret is this stability, this happiness, this possible union. It's like you already know. You already know. I already know. I'm sorry. You guys already know the answer. You already know the answer. You're just not wanting to accept it. Union is coming. Two of Cups. So it goes from the Magician to the Knight of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles to the Two of Cups, the Tower, and communication. Ace of Cups twice. Ace of Swords. Athame. Queen of Swords. I think you already know the answer. I think you're extremely intuitive. I think you know who your Emperor is, or you know what an Emperor looks like. And I think that you may just need to trust your inner knowing, which is hard for you because you've been through a lot of trying, a lot of attempts. It's coming together. It's just coming together slowly. Whatever you've been manifesting, whatever you know, you know. You don't think, you know. You know. This is she who knows. But coming out in reverse, it's either she who doesn't speak about it, or it's she who refuses to trust what she knows, which creates confusion. Some of you are manifesting a real, true, high-level soulmate. I don't remember where I saw it, but didn't I see the Empress? I think I shuffled again. I think I saw the Empress, and then we had the Emperor. When the right person comes along, I don't think you're going to recognize it. I think you're going to doubt it. I think you're going to question it. I think you're going to maybe try to self-sabotage it. I think that your heart, you have to drop out of your head and get back into your heart. And then once you feel the answer, then you may make the decisions. Go back to the head. Go back to the head after you consult with the heart. Some of you are manifesting a new relationship after ending an old one or a current one. Others of you, the current one is the one that's slow and steady, winning you over incrementally. And you're being asked not to give up, to keep trying. Hold your boundaries, speak your truth. But don't build any walls. Allow this person the opportunity to show you who they are. And if they're not this Emperor, you're going to know. It might take a while. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, which we did have, with the Wheel of Fortune, you'll know. Don't go until you know. But when you know, be grateful. And open your heart to receive it and give the other person a chance to show who they are. Who they truly are. Because the Emperor can be pretty bossy. Can be a little entitled. It can be hard to deal with. But are they doing what they believe is right? And are they doing it to protect everybody or just their own interests? I think you'll know the answer. I think you may already know the answer, but you're just kind of not trusting your intuition. And I believe that something new is going to come in very unexpectedly with the Tower, the Two of Cups. Somebody that you miss, somebody that feels like home with that Six of Cups. Somebody that you've had many, many tries with. Or the person you're already dealing with could just suddenly get it. Or you do. I really don't understand why Spirit is being so mysterious, but it is a mystery reading. So I think, you know, Spirit's basically saying, you guys are my spiritual gurus. You're the ones that found me because you're on a spiritual healing journey. And that journey, you've probably spent most of your time on this journey seeking for answers and healing external to yourself. Because I know I have. And I think Spirit's trying to say the answer lies within you. You've had that answer all along, and your intuition is spot on. And your journey is divinely guided and protected. So I'm going to move on to pile number 3. And if this one feels like the same damn reading wrapped up in a bow for you, I may take away all the timestamps and just call it a day and let you guys watch the whole video without timestamps. All right, so where are we at? We are at 1:20. 2020. For pile number 3, or maybe this will all be a collective. We have the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance, but it's in the challenge position. We have balance. We have weeping willow, family sorrow. We have peacock, beware of great pride. Oh, hold on. We have Lord God, masculine. Wow. We have dreams coming true with the 9 of Cups. We have brilliant, talented, independent, Queen of Wands. Controlling, sometimes. There's nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life, or just life in general. Then we have the 5 of Cups. Grief, sadness, regret, loss, weeping willow, sorrow. Could be in the family dynamic. It says family sorrow, but it could also be in friendships or other relationships. So we've got the 9, I want to put these out like this. The 9 of Cups, because I'm going to clarify. I clarified for the other groups. 9 of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the 5 of Cups. And your last card is better than you can imagine. And I'm going to read these for you, and then I'm going to channel. So, from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, we're going to take a look at number 32 in the Challenger position. We have the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance in the challenging position. Beware of losing yourself in your dreams of the future when the Sun Dancers come to challenge you. Their message is sweet and simple. Stop what you're doing and go have some fun. Celebrate what is and don't worry about what will be or what could be. Be here now. Just be. Just for today. You will find your answers, but only after you've made time to play. Tomorrow, after all, is another day, and the sun will rise again to shed its warmth and light on all that needs clarity. You can count on it. So again, it's about clarity. It's about I have controlling here. Brilliant, talented, independent, but a bit controlling. Out of all the queens, the Queen of Wands is the one that could possibly, in her shadow, fall into great pride, which brings her into her masculine energy of I think you could be dealing with a distorted masculine. I wanted to blame it on you. I was going to go there. I was really going to go there. But it didn't feel right. It just didn't sit right. I think you need, pile number 3, to go into your childhood or your past. Doesn't have to be your childhood. But with this, you know, the Sun Dancers, this is about playing, being playful. It's allowing yourself a day off. A day off from having to fix everybody and everything and having to be the smart, brilliant, talented, independent, controlling person. It's about you possibly returning to a simpler time. Possibly back in your childhood where you actually had dreams. And then you had a lot of experiences where those dreams didn't come true. And you grieved. And it probably surrounds masculine distortion. Somebody with great pride or dominance. But I'm noticing the fetus. And the pyramid with the dragonfly and the all-seeing eye. There's something here that you're giving birth to. Or this could be childhood trauma that's ancestral. I want to clarify these. I clarified for piles 1 and 2. So your tarot is the 9 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the 5 of Cups. I think that there have been dreams that you've had, possibly as a child, where you disappointed, maybe a masculine in your life. Maybe your father criticized or felt disappointed by you, or maybe they expected you to create something maybe your only dream has been to find a man or a masculine that accepts you in a very balanced way, that makes you feel young again. I don't know. I'm just picking up on energies. Let's clarify this 9 of Cups. Again, the 6 of Cups. I might just make this video all one video because we're getting, I shuffled, you saw me shuffle, or at least heard me shuffle. Again, this is about something in your childhood that fell apart. Maybe a relationship. Maybe your divine masculine. Maybe being yourself and showing your true gifts and talents and your brilliance and your independence didn't work out so well for you. Maybe it rubbed the masculines, and it doesn't have to be avatar. You don't have to be female and they don't have to be male. We're talking energy here. But I do believe it's a relationship, and I believe it's one that you had when you were a child, either with a parent or a lover or childhood sweetheart. But it was your dream. It was what you wanted. You miss it. You think about it a lot. You're trying to create it, but you don't believe in it anymore. You've lost faith. You've mourned it and grieved it, and you just can't imagine it ever happening. The Tower is about something that falls apart. It must come down. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Cups, High Priestess, Queen of Wands. See, this is you becoming the Empress. This is you mastering your queens. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't think we need to go that far. I think as far as we need to go is right here. Because we got the Five of Cups again. I think for some of you, this is a situation with a person that you've done this with many lifetimes or many times. I think they've disappointed you. I think you got your heart broke. I think they abandoned you with the Five of Pentacles twice. And it does not have to be romantic. This could be a parent that just was never home, that emotionally checked out on you, broke your heart. Could be a mother for some of you. But I don't think so. I think this is about you mastering your femininity, your feminine, divine feminine energy. And it doesn't matter, you could be a man. But this is about creating for yourself stability and security and meeting your own needs so that you're not relying on some other person to do it for you. This is about showing up for yourself, because I think you have an abandonment wound. This is about trusting your intuition, right there with the High Priestess. Queen of Cups is a very highly intuitive queen, but she has a cup with a lid on it. She looks at it and she's trying to decide if she can trust to not get hurt again, if she can take the lid off, if she can really immerse herself into that cup. Is it safe? Is it safe? And then we've got the Queen of Wands twice and the Five of Pentacles twice. This is about I'm just hearing, you are not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far apart, you're always in my heart. There's the Five of Cups again. Oh, so that wasn't the Five of Pentacles. I'm sorry, it's the Five of Cups. There's the happiness. There's the joy, the spontaneity. There's the forward movement. You got to get away from the past. That's your advice. If you have history with somebody and they come back around, you need to start new, start fresh. It could be better than you ever imagined. It could be more balanced. It could be your wish come true. But you cannot move forward creating this tower the same way. It'll just come down again. It wasn't stable. There was something built that couldn't withstand time. But I think something new is going to happen. All right, so I want to just ask for advice now. I think Spirit's saying if you want something new, if you want to give birth to something new, you're going to have to go deep, because the I'm going to read from this. I didn't read these. Gosh, Tracy, what is wrong with you? Did you read this one? I don't think I did. It's a number 12, which breaks down to a 3, and you've got triangles. That's 3, right? This tower needed to be built more sturdy. And whatever you're creating in the future, whatever you're magnetizing towards you, you deserve it. Don't let your pride get too big or your ego get too big. But don't allow other people's pride and ego to prevent you from just taking up the space you deserve to take up, you know? Being your beautiful, talented, brilliant, independent, alluring, magnetic self. We've got believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. It's right there. Dreams come true. And here we have dreams coming true. And we clarified that 9 with the 6 of Cups and the Tower. And I'm kind of all over the place. I haven't eaten. I need to go eat. Clarify the Queen. Ah, there's the pride. There's the pride and ego. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Happiness. What's between this? The Emperor and the 2 of Cups. Come on, guys. Ah, don't give up on us, baby. I think this is going to be one reading. I'm just going to stitch it all together, and you can go to the timestamps if you want to, but I think this is for everybody. Most people came to my channel because they were having a spiritual awakening through a divine counterpart. Whether it was a karmic divine counterpart, a high-level counterpart, a catalyst, or an absolute twin flame, divine masculine. We got masculine here, masculine here. We've got the 2 of Cups. We've got success. We've got the sun, masculine energy. I think as a child you experienced great sorrow and an abandonment wound. And I think you probably experienced it first with a parent, possibly a masculine. And then I think you recreated that in relationships where you always were abandoned. You were always not good enough. You were always not able to be confident. You probably were struggling to be confident. I think Spirit's saying you should be proud of yourself, but don't be arrogant. There's that Chariot again. You got to move beyond the past. You might be creating. Tell me about the 5 of Cups. What is here for the 5 of Cups, please? Oh my gosh. There's that last Queen. 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, Queen of Swords, 10 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. Better than you can imagine. Let's read it, because I think that's where you're headed. And I think your trauma is being afraid of being too cocky, being too confident, really allowing yourself to take up space. I think you're afraid that you will be abandoned or left behind. I think a parent probably didn't see your true potential and might have even shamed you or manipulated you or tried to change you, or I think this is going to turn out better than you can ever imagine. And I think that you need to go back to being childlike, innocent. Go back to before all these challenging 5s came along. Go back to before you experienced the abandonment. Go back to before you experienced the loss and the regret. Because I think somebody's going to meet you there. I think somebody's willing to meet you there. And I think they're going to stay this time. Look at Ace of Cups, Three of Wands, Knight of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands. I think you're healing codependence, and I think that you have somehow leveled up. But because of all the trauma that you experienced, you've kind of leaned into your masculine energy of being strong, independent. But I think you're worried that someone, this emperor, might not see your value or your potential. And I think you're afraid to shine your light, because when you did the last time, or with the last person, or with a parent or something, the outcome was very different. And I think you've manifested that outcome many, many times through a belief system that you weren't worthy of having it. And I think Spirit's saying, not only are you worthy of having it, but it's on its way. It's already coming towards you. Aces, happiness, Ten of Cups. It's okay to have boundaries. Your biggest lesson is reciprocity, period. I'm going to leave it there, reciprocity. I think you've manifested a lot of people where you gave and gave and gave and gave because you were a little bit codependent. That was your devil. It was your devil, as you were too codependent. You've learned how to diminish your light and diminish yourself, and to kind of sacrifice yourself in order to keep balance in relationships. And that has created the need for shadow work. And I think you've done it. I think you've done it. I think it's on its way. I think change is coming. I think all three readings is for everybody. And I think I'm going to just market it that way. And as you listen to it, if you want to separate these out, go ahead. But man, the clarifiers on this reading is outstanding. This is about somebody coming in with communication and clarity to balance something out and to start it over again, or start something new with somebody new. But this Emperor is coming with the Two of Cups. And I think you've lost faith. And I think you've been on a journey of practicing what you've learned so that you don't muck it up when it shows up. And probably they have too. They probably showed up as the Knight of Wands in the past, and they're showing up as an Emperor now. And I think for the first time, maybe ever in your life, you're going to know what it's like to be with a real masculine, divine masculine, who has probably been through an awful lot. And going through whatever they had to go through is what's brought them to this beautiful place of understanding and appreciating you. And I think that you need to decide I'm hearing, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? And if you have options with the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, and if you're part of 1 and 2, come here. Then your discernment is you need to really entertain both options long enough to allow them to show their true colors, because one person is never going to abandon you. They just aren't. They're going to show up, and they're going to show up over and over and over again. They're going to prove themselves. They're going to come in with a whole new view of who you are or were in their life. And I think there's an opportunity that you might, if you haven't fully done your shadow work, you might decide to deal with this beautiful union opportunity through your past wounds, recreating, giving birth to, manifesting another trip on the merry-go-round, on the Wheel of Fortune, the world. So I think Spirit's kind of intervening and telling you, you deserve to have what makes you happy, what makes you feel, it should be easy. No, it should not. Everything isn't easy. There's work here, but it should flow. You shouldn't feel like you have to change somebody. They should come in and just show you that they aren't what you're expecting. Let's read Better Than You Can Imagine. It's number 39. And it reads, Dragonfly. Before Dragonfly becomes her most authentic self, she spends about 4 years underwater as a creepy little nymph creature. The dragonfly nymph has no comprehension of her greatness. How could a creature that lives underwater even remotely fathom that there existed an atmosphere she had no perception of, which she would not only live in but fly in as well? Dragonfly brings a secret message, a sacred message, but I heard secret, about your belief in your future self. She says your perception of reality is quite limited and naive, and your image of your future self is incredibly narrow, but that's okay. Just be aware of this. Be aware of it. Beware of great pride. If you have a dream, wishes coming true. Dragonfly is telling you all you have to do is work on it, and life will do the rest for you. Don't try to figure out what it's supposed to look like with your limited perceptions, meaning your past perceptions. Don't look at setbacks as the end of the world. They were meant to happen to propel and stretch you. Just keep working on your dream, and life will create something so much bigger than you have the ability to currently understand. Dragonfly's medicine teaches you to first surrender your need for something to be like the limited view in your head. Second, have absolute trust that life will deliver something greater. Third, be patient. Last, get excited that something bigger than your dream is destined for you. I'm telling you, I think your trauma is limited belief systems in yourself. You didn't feel good enough. You didn't feel chosen. You didn't feel worthy. You've probably been abandoned. You've probably had your heart broken. You've probably made some really shitty choices when it comes to relationships. And I think that you kind of sacrificed in order to make things work that you knew really, really wasn't working. And I think this entire reading from pile 1 all the way through pile 3 is to know yourself well enough to know What is your dream? And why do you believe you have to compromise in order to achieve it? Because you don't. Somebody's on their way to you. I see it. Lots of aces. And this with the Six of Cups could be a reunion with the Four of Wands, the Emperor, and the Six of Cups. We had the Two of Cups. We had the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups. We have equal reciprocity and change. And I think you've changed, and because you've changed, you're now manifesting the new energy that you embody. And I think you keep looking back over your shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I think if you're currently in a relationship with somebody that does not honor you, that does not show up for you, that is not seeing your value, seeing your worth, then I think your advice is to get the hell out of there, because something and someone much better is already Three of Wands on their way. They're already on their way. Already on their way. And maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you can't believe that. Maybe that's something that's just never ever happened for you, and therefore it is the elusive dream. But I think you know the answer already. And I think Spirit is asking you to get in the damn boat, tuck in your arms and legs, make the decisions that need to be made to create what you want to experience, and believe wholeheartedly that you not only deserve it, but it's on its way. All right, I'm going to leave this as one reading. You guys can, I'll put the timestamps down below in case you guys want to break it up. But this card right here is for everybody. This is a postcard from Spirit. If you want to screenshot it and read it, pause it. So I have, dearest you, as you think, so will you experience life. Exactly. You cannot keep thinking that it's going to happen just like it did in the past. Or it will. Thoughts are that powerful, and they need minding. Let the unruly, chaotic ones settle down so they serve you, or get released instead of wreaking havoc. These thoughts arise when connected to the energy of fear, and often masquerade as truth. Yet the real truth is that essentially all is well. Of course, you have thoughts that are positive, strong, organized, accepting, creative, open, and so on. Those are the ones we want you to keep thinking, and they have a less frantic quality. They're stimulating in a good way and don't get away from you. How do you keep an inner eye on your thoughts? Meditate and leave judgment out of the mix. Everyone has those fearful thoughts. Love them. Love yourself, and then choose the thoughts you want the world to reflect back. Life is not as hard as you think. Loving you so much. Again, there's such a heavy, heavy message in all three readings today that you are the magician. Your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, and your beliefs create your earthly 3D experience. And it's time for you to look at what you're creating currently and assess it from a non-judgmental point of view and with gratitude for what it brings you. Ask yourself, is this an experience I want to have? Or is this an experience I would like to move away from to create space for an experience that is my dreams coming true? You'll know. Because some of you, I'm going to tell you, the person you're with is pretty rock solid. and they are triggering you in your past. Others of you, that this person is a karmic relationship and needs to go because they're manipulative emotionally. They might gaslight you. They might, and these are things that only you can discern, but you can't discern it by comparing them and judging them to the past. You have to be in the now moment and be observant and honest about your observation and include yourself in that so you can make the best decision moving forward. And I'm going to tell you a secret. You're not going to be able to make the wrong choice because the tower showed up twice. So that's divine intervention. You can stay in a relationship as long as you need to that may be toxic, and eventually the tower will come down. So you're not going to get it wrong, and you're very divinely guided, very divinely protected. It will happen for you, not to you. And it will create that space for the Three of Wands, what's headed towards you, what's already on its way. You can't get it wrong. If you choose to walk away and it's the right person, and it's your pride and ego and your trauma and your past, you're not going to find this person easy to get rid of because they love you and they're going to show up. Somebody's going to show up and you're going to see them show up and you're going to know when they show up. So if you're in a toxic relationship and you want to get out, take some space. See what this person does. Do they change? Or maybe take better consideration? Are they willing to fight for it? Are they willing to reflect? Are they willing to listen to you? Are they willing to show up differently, or at least consistently show up? Because maybe they don't need to show up differently. Maybe they just need to be consistent so you can trust them. Slow and steady wins the race. So you're not going to get it wrong. You're not. Just know that you might be creating with the Magician energy an experience that really reminds you of past experiences because that's where you're living. It's where you're still at, mentally, emotionally, which creates physically and spiritually. So it's time for you to stop looking for me to answer your questions or for spirit to answer your questions, and just use these readings for guidance so that you can go within and create the answer within yourself and move forward. And don't be so fearful of making a mistake, because if it's meant to be, it will be. What's meant for you is already on its way towards you. And for some of you, it may have already arrived. Your ship might be here, but maybe you don't trust it. Maybe you're fearful of it. Maybe you're looking for holes in it. Maybe you're creating holes in it. Only you have the answer to these questions, and it's time for you to really get serious about taking the blinders off. Go above the situation and be the observer and be willing to see your own part. And know that you are perfect in every way. And every experience, no matter how difficult it's been, has been perfectly created for you to get you to where you are today. And you're not going to fail, because Spirit is going to come in like staff and protect you and balance things out and just keep pushing you in the right direction. So it's okay if you make a mistake, because we make mistakes. We take side trails every now and then. And Spirit will send a boulder or an avalanche or a tower or something that will just push you away from that path and right back to the one you were originally on. And you will know, because you will allow it to happen with happiness, joy, childlike enthusiasm. And you will create it by dreaming in a way that doesn't make you feel unworthy. So I love you guys. This has been your reading. It's been a long reading. And I'm going to put the timestamps for those of you that want to break it up, but I think this was a collective reading, and it was a mystery reading. And the mystery is you need to trust your intuition, and you need to make these choices according to what you want to create and experience. If the person you're currently with, or the job you're currently with, or the family dynamic isn't making you happy, isn't bringing your dreams into fruition, it's okay to walk away from them, because if they're meant for you, they're going to come right back and say, oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to lose you. So I will balance this out with you. I will compromise. I will make sacrifices just like you, because I don't want this to end. Or they might be an asshole and call you every name in the book and go on their own way, blame you for everything, and all of a sudden you just manifest union with somebody better because you told the universe that you weren't going to tolerate anything less than what you want to create an experience. All right, I'm going, guys. Namaste. Let me know how it resonates. See you next time.